It's time for lunch.
Angelo, it's 10:30.
Right around that corner, there is a sandwich shop. They sell meatball sandwiches. Best I've ever tasted. Would you go get me two? Come on, partner. Two.
Thank you.
Utah, get me two.
Whoa. It's Katrina Porter, and she is righteous.
We have a new accent. Hi, Anna Serene. Alert. New accent.
Welcome to Split Happens, everyone else.
Welcome, everybody.
Each week, Katrina and I discuss a movie both of us love. However, only one of us gets to say anything good about the movie. They're the pro of the episode, which means the other's the con and must attack it. Our one rule is the con only has to attack during the synopsis. And if they say anything at all good about the movie during that time, they incur a penalty. They have to give some love to a movie they hate, which the pro gets to decide. So this week, during Keanu-tober, if I catch a rule break from Katrina, you're going to hear this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Keanu-tober. That's what I keep getting wrong.
Yeah, because you keep calling it Keanu member.
That's right. Okay.
You just can't help yourself.
I can't.
I am excited. This is the only Keanu movie I have. Oh, you don't seem as happy.
I'm not.
Why are you not happy?
Because I don't want to talk bad about it.
Oh, is there something you'd rather do to this movie?
Yeah.
What?
I'd rather say good things about it.
Oh, okay. What are you going to be forced to do?
I'm going to ride this movie, along with my dumb takes, like a way too hot idiot surfing some bitchin' waves he is in no way capable of surfing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That cut deep.
Cuts like a knife.
And it feels alright. Whoa, from your description, I can't think of another movie it could possibly be except 1991's Point Break. Do you know they made a remake? They did.
Stop your face.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
You just did.
I know. I don't know what happened. It was one of those things like, you know, if somebody tells you, like, don't look at this person, you know, guacamole, you know. I couldn't help myself.
I don't like that at all.
But neither did anybody else.
I started taking my notes, and within 7 minutes, I was like, oh no.
Fuck.
I'm in trouble.
Whoa. This movie is so much fun.
And I was feeling sorry for myself. And I even was still able, I was like talking about, like giving self-talk, like, Katrina, you literally have 3 of the 4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, quit being a baby. And then the other part was like, no, I shouldn't have to be the con on this one either.
And then the other part of you was like shooting your gun up in the air and going, ah.
Something crazy happened. And if you follow us on Instagram at all, you know that we're perplexed by this. And it finally happened today. Pirate Movie surpassed The Crow as our most downloaded episode. The Crow was our first episode we dropped.
Yeah.
So it's been out longer. First of all, it's The Crow.
We may have recorded the pirate movie technically before The Crow. We recorded around the same time. We just waited a really long time to release it.
Because it's not as good of an episode as The Crow.
I disagree. I disagreed then. I disagree when we dropped it, and I disagree now.
It is. I mean, it's not a bad episode, but it's not as good as The Crow.
Oh, not as good as The Crow.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I mean, we didn't release it because I think you thought maybe it wasn't good overall.
No.
Or just nobody knew that movie.
That was like, nobody knows this movie.
Yeah.
But people do.
People definitely do.
It doesn't make any sense.
People just love pirates.
Arr.
Have you considered?
Yeah.
Have you considered the art?
Oh
Well,
my
we do have
gosh.
something special to celebrate it, but we can't say what it is.
Did you see the joke that Keeve made?
Oh, about the pirate joke?
Yeah.
Yes, I loved it. I love those types of jokes.
You're a punny. You're very punny.
I love them.
Yeah.
I really do.
He was really busting my balls about speed, though.
Yeah, he was.
Sure was.
Can I tell my favorite pirate joke?
Yeah.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
Arr.
Nar, it be the sea.
Oh.
God, I love it so.
So anyway, we're doing something to celebrate the pirate movie, but we're not going to tell you.
Oh,
Because we like surprises.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
And also, we can't always organize ourselves.
That's true.
So sometimes it's a surprise to us that we actually get it accomplished.
That's a fact.
But here's something we can tell you.
Yeah.
Because it's already partially happened. It involves props.
It does involve props. It does involve props, yes. I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited. Get hyped.
I'm hyped.
I'll say there really isn't a ton of info about this movie. I looked and searched and looked, and it's a lot of the same thing over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you what seems to be what everybody has as far as the background info on Point Break.
You know your girl is a documentary hoe.
Mm.
There's a great documentary about Patrick Swayze. So good. He is... I was going to make him my happy ending, but I wasn't sure how much trivia you had about him. And then I went with a different person, and it worked out great. And if you don't have much trivia about him, that's okay. We don't typically have a bunch of trivia about the actors. But he's... spoiler if you don't know. He was a great freaking human. He was a great person.
We will talk about him quite a bit, just not in this particular movie, because we do have Roadhouse on our list.
We have Roadhouse. I still want to do Tu Wong Fu.
Yes, definitely.
Love that movie.
Okay, so do you want to know a little bit about this?
Yeah, because I want to have some of my margarita.
Did you happen to catch who directed this?
No.
Really?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
How wild is that?
I will say, I could kind of tell it was one of her early movies because I did actually think some of the camera angles were crazy, especially like at the beginning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's fantastic.
I'm going to say that eventually we're going to do a movie, I hope, that's one that you haven't seen, I don't think. And it's one of those kind of like Black Dynamite where I really think you're going to like it. But she directed it.
Whoa.
It's Near Dark.
What's that?
That's the vampire one that has Bill Paxton in it and Lance Hendrickson. And what's her the stepmom in Terminator 2. And she's also in Aliens.
She's in all the James Cameron movies.
Right.
Okay.
Well, she's in
Titanic.
She's in Near Dark. I love that movie. And it was released, I think, if it might have been the same year as The Lost Boys. We talked about it during The Lost Boys.
Okay. Does Bill Paxton give a speech like he did in Independence Day?
Well, that was Bill Pullman.
Says you.
It says the credits. The credits.
Says them.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Point Break.
Okay.
It had a fairly modest budget. It had a $24 million budget. So for 91, it's not terrible.
All those masks.
It grossed $103 million worldwide.
Okay.
It was fine. It did fine. I've been learning a lot about like Hollywood math. That because we talk about this a lot. That I think we always kind of assume that if the number it grossed goes past the budget, somehow that made a profit. That is definitely not always the case.
Right.
Not even close. So yeah, it did fine. Like I said, Catherine Bigelow directed this. At the time, her husband was James Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
91 was a very good year for him.
Jimmy Cam. 91. Well, Terminator 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This script had kind of gone around. I think several people had looked at it. Sir Ridley of Scott.
Oh, okay.
Had wanted to get his hands on it, and I can't remember why he didn't end up doing it. And then it stayed around the circuit for a couple of years. This filmmaker, Rick King is his name. He was the one that kind of came up with this story because he's the one that saw that LA was at the time the robbery capital, like bank robbery central.
Okay.
And he said it was a big problem. So he was sitting on a beach and learning how to surf, and he just had gotten the idea of like, about surfers robbing banks. An FBI agent that's a good athlete that goes undercover amongst those surfers. It just worked for him. So he got that idea, and he actually thought of it as like Tom Cruise joins the FBI.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And then at some point, James Cameron got involved and said, my wife needs something to do.
He did. Okay, you're paraphrasing.
I'm definitely paraphrasing, but I'll tell you what he said at the time.
My wife needs something to do.
Oh, well, he said at the time, quote, being married to a fellow filmmaker was a very good thing. I had to look at every foot of her dailies on Point Break, and she had to look at every foot of mine on Terminator 2. It was interesting. Different. A lot, which is nice, because you can learn a lot from that. And, I mean, eventually, she beat him for the Oscar when she got the Hurt Locker over Avatar.
Yes. I know you love that.
I do love that.
Hurt Locker, god dang. That was an incredible movie.
Well, that's tough, but I think he and Catherine Bigelow weren't together much longer after this because he ended up with Linda Hamilton.
Correct.
Right at the same time.
Yeah.
So he got it to her. She is the one that insisted on Keanu Reeves being at the lead, in the lead at the helm. They wanted several other people. I believe Johnny Depp would have
Of
been.
course.
Once again, I think Matthew Broderick was considered. Willem Dafoe. I know. Val Kilmer, Charlie Sheen. The huge.
The huge.
For that time,
Uh-huh.
for sure. But she really stuck to it. I think she wanted it to be him because of he had done Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but also My Own Private Idaho.
Oh.
So I think she felt like he could handle both.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Biehn had said I think he'd been offered the role of Bodhi in this instead of Patrick Swayze.
Oh.
And he turned it down and he really regretted it.
I can't see anybody else as Bodhi than Patrick Swayze.
I mean, I'll talk a little bit about it later, but it could not have been anybody else. It couldn't have been. He was meant to play that role, for sure.
I say something later
Yes?
about Patrick Swayze as Bodhi,
Uh-huh.
and it's not a pro,
Uh-oh. I feel like there's an asterisk involved in this.
so it should not be a button push. Because I'm telling you ahead of time, it's not a pro.
We went through this with Dark Crystal, and you're like, if I say something sarcastic, and you're like, man, she's got a great ass, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's not sarcastic. It's fact. Look at that thing.
I'm just telling you right now that it won't be a button push.
Oh, I'll determine that in the moment.
It has to do when they are jumping from the plane.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll determine that in the moment.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's not a pro.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to judge that
Well,
and judge it appropriately.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say shit.
Well, hopefully you don't, because if you do, you're going to have to give 2 positive things because
Oh, yeah.
In the Matrix, you said if you got any more button pushes, next time you got a button push, you'd have to say two nice things about the
Yeah, because it's
dark crystal.
Dark crystal.
The dark crystal.
That's tequila.
I don't feel drunk at all. I feel like I should be drunk.
It's an unfamiliar feeling.
I don't. I feel like I should have more of a buzz, and I don't. Oh no!
Oh shit! What?
Oh fuck! I'm a raging alcoholic. Oh, I hate raging. That's all of my pre-synopsis. Whoa!
Oh no! Bummer. All right, we'll play the fucking song.
Do you want to do another shot before we get started?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad.
Let the games begin.
This movie begins.
No.
It does.
No.
What?
This movie starts with Keanu throwing a gum wrapper on the ground. How dare they portray that angel as a litterer?
No.
Yes, that is how it starts.
Nope.
As if we could believe something that ridiculous.
No, that's not how it starts.
It is. I would believe that he could finish sentences that don't sound like questions before I would believe that he could litter.
That's not how it starts, though.
How does it start?
It starts with the ocean. And according to my closed captioning, pensive music. And Katrina, you love pensive music and the word pensive.
It actually starts with the word Largo, which makes me think of Mar-a-Lago. That's a con.
Largo, the company that did this was their first movie.
Well, try harder.
This was actually produced by Largo Productions and Johnny Utah Productions.
Psh. Well,
But for Largo, this was their first movie that they produced.
well,
Wow, talk about hitting that out of the park, huh?
well, they tried to make him look terrible, and I hope you feel awful.
I don't at all. After we see that beautiful ocean and that pensive music that you love so much, we immediately see a badass, rain-soaked Keanu shooting targets. And he gets 100% good job from his FBI trainer, and we can make that times 2 because I also think that.
No one gets 100%.
100% good job. Toot toot.
What did I text you? Once when I start taking my notes, I was like, I fucking forgot how swole he is in this movie.
Yeah, that was something you said before. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's about him as an actor.
But you still believe that.
That's about him as an actor.
For this movie.
That's about him as an actor.
For this movie.
I think he got it.
I don't remember you saying how swole he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Well, we haven't done that movie. I think he actually got swole for My Private Idaho.
He definitely did not.
Yes. You have to pick all those potatoes.
Wasn't that about drug use?
Don't they grow potatoes in Idaho? I don't know.
Oh God, was River Phoenix in that one?
Yes, they were
Is that
really,
why I'm
really, really
thinking
good
of-
friends.
Is that why I'm thinking of drug use?
Probably.
Were his veins swole?
I don't know. Never mind. I've already made too many accusations about too many people.
Our Keanu is playing brand spanking new FBI agent Johnny Utah. And that was almost a titular role. Yeah, I said titular. I knew it.
Yeah, you did.
As they originally wanted to call this movie Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
And then they chose Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the Storm.
Right. But they wanted to go with something that's related to surfing. So Point Break, it is.
Well, he walks into the FBI building like he is us at a tequila festival.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It was intense. He's just like, get me through here.
Yeah, get me through. Get us to the Blanco section. Stat. Johnny Utah is at his new post in the bank robbery division, which I spelt wrong, apparently. According to that smart-ass spell check in L.A.
That bitch.
As it is the bank robbery capital of the world. Thank God they weren't in the murder capital of the world. That's Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Yeah. His boss is played by John C. McGinley.
He's like every stereotypical dickhead in every action movie. Like, you're just a young know-it-all punk.
He said you're young, dumb, and full of cum.
What the fuck? That is weird, dude.
I don't know. Everybody was saying it at the time.
No one says that.
Everybody was saying it. It was just constant.
No one says
People
that.
said it to me constantly. I'm pretty sure it was just something that was said to everyone.
Okay. Well, I would like to go on the record that no one has said that to me.
I'm very sorry.
I've never been called dumb.
Oh, you're a sneech without a star.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're a sneech without a cum cover star.
Yes, I am.
As a matter of fact, yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And along those lines, this movie is so frenetic, I was convinced that I was on acid and I am too square to eat regular mushrooms because I don't want to chance it.
You don't eat regular mushrooms?
Absolutely not.
You and John Connolly, I swear to God.
Ooh, like dirt vessel.
Oh, dirt vessels are delicious, though. Oh, I love I am, Angina, or whatever her name is in Poltergeist.
And how do you know,
all are welcome.
How do you know for sure that you don't eat one of those and they don't make you trip out?
Well, the FDA has pretty stringent regulations.
Oh, I'm going to trust them.
Also, bring it. I had a wonderful time on mushrooms.
Absolutely
one time.
not.
I did
no,
it in a legal place, I'm sure.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. That's what this movie made me feel like. I was like, Katrina, you've been under some stress. Did you do some acid?
Oh, you would know. We're not.
This movie's like, I mean, the opening of it is there's so much shit goes on so fast.
That sounds more like cocaine.
Oh, fuck. Did I do cocaine?
I don't know. I've never done it. So I don't know what the effects are. But but what you describe sounds like cocaine.
Where would I get that?
Cocaine?
Yeah.
I don't know. On the street, on a curb, I assume, on a street corner, from somebody with a jacket and saying, "Hey, looky here, I've got this. How about this? First taste is free." And then they rub their teeth or something.
Oh, I do love the 80s.
Yeah, you do love the 80s.
Oh, shit.
You do love Robert Downey Jr.
Okay. Well, let's keep the acid trade rolling.
Okay.
It's Gary Busey. Toot.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, Johnny Utah is partnered with grizzled experienced agent Pappas, played by the one and only Gary fucking Busey. He is great in this. This is Gary Busey at his peak awesome.
Katrina, shut your fucking mouth. Don't you say a word.
I love how reluctant he is to retrieve the bricks from the bottom of the pool when they're doing that. I'm like, just tell him it's cocaine. He would have been in that so fast.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, in case you haven't heard us talk about it in one of the other episodes, that Gary Busey said that one of his lowest points is when he accidentally spilled Coke on his dog and then he ended up sniffing the Coke off of his dog's fur.
Now, people...
Ooh,
never mind.
Carefully.
No, never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, it's politics.
Oh, never mind.
Because people know that, I think if you haven't figured out that, I'm a social worker. Most social workers are pretty liberal. So if you haven't figured out where my politics land at this point, I think it's pretty obvious. That being said, back in the day, I did check out Celebrity Apprentice every once in a while. I know. I didn't know at the time.
You tried to convince me to watch it at the time. I said no.
I know. Gary Busey on Celebrity Apprentice was a goddamn gift. A gift.
Gary Busey is a gift.
A gift.
He is a riot.
And there would be times on Celebrity Apprentice where he would do a good job on accident.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe both he would do a good job and that it was an accident.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I really, really like Gary Busey. If it wasn't for that's...
We also had a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it wasn't for that darn cocaine, and then also that
he had a car accident or a motorcycle or something.
Yeah. vehicular.
Yeah.
He had a vehicular accident and it caused
cocaine.
some brain issues.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, his face is also outgrowing his teeth.
Well, speaking of politics, these bank robbers are making a mockery of our fine political system.
You want to take another shot at it?
Sorry.
Hey, no way you're going to get through that.
Okay. The bank robbers. They're making this anyway.
You can't do it.
Just go ahead.
You can't do it. I'm not giving you a button push. It's okay.
It's just anyway.
Well, while Gary Busey, who is Pappas, and Johnny Utah, is Keanu, obviously,
Johnny Utah.
while they're doing that silliness, we meet our antagonists, kind of. The bank robbers, known as the ex-presidents.
What do you mean, kind of? Are you suggesting these aren't bad guys?
I am definitely suggesting that, yeah.
What?
Yep, we'll get to it. They are so called that because they rob banks wearing masks of the ex-presidents. And apparently they've robbed 27 banks in 3 years, and no one has ever gotten shot. And they only stick to the cash drawers and never the vault because they're not greedy, according to Pappas.
But they are robbing a bank, which is money that doesn't belong to them.
Well, let me says you. Papa says they're the best bank robber he's ever seen, and he has a theory they're actually surfers. Ooh.
No.
What? That is what happened.
No.
I remember.
No. Crazy Gary is going to start talking about how it isn't worth it because he's a bitter and hardened, partly because he's a war vet and probably wasn't treated right on re-entry. And Johnny, who is 2 steps up from a fucking moron, is easily able to bait him into telling him his theory that bank robbers are surfers.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
you just referred to Keanu as 2 steps up from a moron.
No. I refer to Johnny Utah.
Who's able to get through. I mean, he does a wonderful. He's a good cop.
On.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
a good cop.
Okay, I've got plenty of evidence.
Oh, okay. Well, Johnny is smart enough to hear the evidence and the theory, and then proactively learn how to surf. Man, he is so good at his job.
So, just if I'm understanding what's happening correctly,
Probably not.
Johnny's going undercover.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and he does this by going into the surf shop with Crazy Gary, with both of them wearing their FBI suits. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Us on the bills.
Oh no! Fuck no! Oh, of course. Oh, boy.
No one's scouting out a potential undercover op. You have to assume that the perps are going to recognize you later from when you were walking around in your spook gear, and your cover will instantly be blown, along with your brains.
Wouldn't you assume that these, like all of these surfer guys, are like, they're like, whoa, waves and namaste, and whoa.
These are bank robbing surfers.
Yeah, but they think, that they won't, there are a lot, this is LA. There are a lot of people in LA.
Gary Busey's baseline face is like a crazy clown. You remember his face.
His face, you know what he is? His face is a typewriter.
Yeah, you remember him. Yeah.
I do recall. Yes.
And
But I pick up on that sort. If anybody's going even remotely funky in traffic, I'm not kidding, and I'm not you. I don't think people are trailing me at any minute of every day. If somebody changes lanes or something crazy, if I see somebody that is not obeying traffic laws in a way that I think could be possibly a danger to everybody, I immediately start looking at their license plate and how I'm going to describe their vehicle to the cops.
all I'm saying is you're on a beach.
Yes.
You have Gary Busey and his clown face and and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And you don't think people are going to remember them?
Probably not.
Really? Really?
Remember when you were talking about acid earlier and mushrooms? There was a lot of that going around during that time.
This was the 90s.
Yes.
That was weed. That was the time of the weed.
Yeah, exactly. Even more. I mean, so that's where you're focused on. This was the time of sublime. I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
Well, if this is supposed to be a learning how to surf montage, it is lame as fuck.
I am so glad you said that. Actually, hold on. Before we can get to the montage, Johnny does decide to go undercover and becomes a surfer. And at one point he says, so about that line about surfing, how hard can it be? Turns out pretty tough for Johnny because he almost drowns.
Boo!
But then luckily he's saved by a hot female surfer played by Lori Petty, and she is rightfully pissed at him. And I love, it's my favorite line in the movie, I swear to God. My favorite line of the movie. When she saves him and she berates him and then she starts paddling back in and he's like, my name's Johnny Utah. And she just goes, who cares? I felt that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did he tell her his name is?
Johnny Utah.
Oh, his real name?
Yeah.
Oh, the undercover guy told her that his name is his real name?
Well, that's the problem, is that he was an ex-quarterback from a football school.
Jesus Christ.
He
went to Ohio State, so anyone that cares about sports.
Okay, I would think that they would refer to themselves as a football school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't be right to be an undercover person.
Sure he can. They don't know what he did after he went to said football school. The internet wasn't around then. The internet was not around then. Not really. Not for the layman. Definitely not for these guys. So he could be able to say, yes, I played this, which actually turns out to be an advantage for him later on. He says, yes, I did this, and then I became a lawyer, and nobody would be any the wiser because it would be so hard for them to track down that information.
Yeah, you can easily look up if somebody went to law school.
Without the internet?
They had the internet.
No, they didn't.
The internet was around. I was in high school.
No. This was 91. It's 90 when this was filmed. So this is practically the 80s. It was technically around. Most people did not have access to computers.
I had access to the computer.
Because you were a librarian.
No, I was in high school, and I had access to it in high school.
Because you were a nerd. We all had access to computers. That's how we were able to play. What's that game where people got dysentery all the time?
Bro, of course, yeah, the little wagon game. Just like these people would have had access to find out that he was a big fat liar.
We didn't look up people. All we did was looked up how to, propagate a society.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he very openly stares at her with the biggest goddamn binoculars ever known to mankind. Was this op put together by Mr. Bean?
Oh, so romantic.
It's not romantic.
Oh, it's so romantic. If only somebody would, binocular me.
And then when he is trying to convince her to teach him to surf, he completely manipulates her with her dead parents?
Hey, you're skipping ahead. Hold on. Hold your horses and make sure they don't get dysentery. Because we're not there yet.
Okay.
The pissed off hot surfer is played by Lori Petty. And her name is Tyler. And Johnny Utah has her pegged as his way into the surfing circuit. And his way is pretty clever, if not a little minorly unethical.
Minorly.
Yeah. He finds out that her parents had died in a car accident, so he's like, hey, I just want to learn how to surf since my parents are dead. And it totally works on her. Police are under, I literally said this to somebody today, the police are under no obligation to tell you the truth. That's just a fact. Oh, Katrina, it's training / falling in love montage. It's a double whammy.
No.
Yes, it is.
This movie makes Keanu a litterer and a douchebag. This is the worst movie ever.
He's not a douchebag.
Yes,
How is he a douchebag?
He manipulates her by her dead parents.
Mm-hmm.
douchebag.
That doesn't make one a douchebag.
Yes, it does.
It makes him a cop. While out learning to surf, Johnny spots a surfer named Bodie.
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of friends. And luckily, it's already been established that he is an ex-quarterback. And he just found his way into the groove.
Uh-huh.
And Bodie is, of course, played by the amazing, late, great Patrick Swayze.
And I can say that I love Patrick Swayze with all my heart.
Here's the thing with Bodie. Patrick Swayze had said that he felt the most connected to this particular character more than any other character he's played. And it's clear. He was born to play this. This is closest to his own
philosophy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, he's anti-violence. He's definitely an adrenaline junkie. I'll go over that a little bit later. This is him. So it really is like if Patrick Swayze didn't have an acting career, he may have been like a surfer / bank robber. Bodie actually recognizes Johnny for his college football career. Yes.
This isn't even a good football montage because it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I literally have no idea what you mean.
Okay. Bodie
Yes.
hikes the ball. So he is the quarterback. Okay. But then somehow the ball is thrown to him like he is a receiver, which then allows Johnny to toss him into the ocean.
He doesn't hike the ball.
Yes, he does.
Well, he hikes the ball to the quarterback.
No, the Bodie hikes the ball.
He hikes it. He throws it.
Yes.
He hikes it under his legs.
Because he's the quarterback.
No. He hikes it.
He's like, oh, and then he throws it.
No.
Yes,
No.
he does.
He's the one that gets it and he like shoves it to like, here you go, Johnny.
No, it doesn't make any. I tell you, and before anyone who likes sports, it's like, oh, maybe they were running the Wildcat play. They weren't running the fucking Wildcat play. I looked. That's what it doesn't. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. One point he's the quarterback. The next point he's the receiver. It doesn't make any sense.
I can clear this up for you.
What?
Beach rules.
He can't be in two places at one time.
Beach rules.
No.
That's how beach football goes. I'm so sorry that you don't understand sports.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
How many positions are there in beach rules?
12.
Total or between the two teams?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we've just spiraled.
What else do you want to know?
Reality.
Well, the reality is beach football is much more difficult than regular football because regular football is often played on turf. AstroTurf. That is true. And in beach football, it's in the sand. And that's really, really tough. So they have to make certain concessions and like shift positions around to, compensate for the sand. Mm-hmm. For the drag.
Yeah. This conversation's a drag. Is playing on turf easy?
Hell yeah. Like pimping.
That's why they have this thing called toe turf in football that players are always bitching about, and it just tore Aaron Rodgers' ACL.
Whatever. It's so easy. The FBI figures out they can narrow down which beach the ex-president surfed at thanks to getting some donated hair supplies. His hair samples. Some donated hair samples.
That second shot of tequila is working. Olay.
Touche.
It like occurred to me at this moment
Yeah.
in the movie that Johnny, and this is how fucking stupid this is, Johnny doesn't realize that it's Bodie and his friends that are the fucking bank robbers.
There's so many surfers.
I was like, wait a second. He's not like hanging out with Lori Petty because she was like with Bodie. Like
No.
This fucking idiot doesn't realize that
Lucky
those are the
coincidence.
Get the fuck
This
out of
guy
here.
is so lucky. Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay? Do you think there are a lot of surfers in California? In LA during this time?
Yes.
Quite a few, right?
Yeah.
Is this not also the bank robbery capital of the world?
I don't know. I need to see the receipts on that.
They said it. So, assuming that that is true, and that is true, then we can also assume, obviously, because correlation makes causation, and that if there are a lot of bank robberies and there are a lot of surfers, chances are pretty good that there are quite a few surfers robbing banks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So he has a lot of like surfer / bank robbers to like choose from. He just happened upon these. How lucky!
It's literally like Bodhi and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The right exact number of fucking presidents right there in a circle.
Wow. Lucky. He is so good at his job.
Bitch can't count.
Some people just have that innate ability. Mm-hmm. You could have. I bet you would have. You would have like immediately like no. You would have shown up and like immediately like magneted yourself to the right person to infiltrate a bank robbery gang of surfers.
I would have been in my bathing suit and my gigantic hat because of this pale ass face and my clue book.
Yes.
I'm like, Bodhi, come here. For several reasons. I need to talk to you.
I like your beard. It's real big.
Come here. And then snatch a piece off so I can test it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See? Oh, you had a bug on you.
Mm-hmm. I was just testing it because I was like play football. How are you the quarterback and the receiver? Don't tell me about beach rules.
You just like rip it and like, I'm into sick shit, and then like run away. Call me.
I'm young, fun, and full of cum.
Now also full of your hair. Oh. Bodhi really likes Johnny because they have like a bromance.
Is this the party?
Well, unfortunately, other surfers aren't so inviting. So Johnny gets into a little bit of a scrap with some Nazi surfers.
Oh my.
Hey, what's this? Why, it's Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And this is right before Blood Sugar Sex Magic dropped.
Okay, well, where's Flea?
He was in other movies.
What?
Well, I don't remember because I've had tequila.
Well, that hurt Flea's feelings. I know it did.
No, he was off doing his thing, his like acting thing. Anthony was doing his acting thing, and they were like, about to drop this major fucking album. Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Suck my kiss. It was so good. Oh, he's good. Anyway, Bodhi comes to help Johnny, and it turns out to be really serendipitous because Bodhi invites him to his house for a party, while Johnny thinks the asshole surfer Nazis might just be the ex-presidents. Oh, he's wrong. He's wrong. He doesn't even know, but he knows something's right. He just isn't trusting his inner instincts.
Oh my gosh.
The problem is that he loves Bodhi. He does. They have a love for each other. They have a brotherly love, and it's clouding his vision. And he also has a love for surfing now. And that's also clouding his vision.
For Christ's sake, does either one of you have anything even remotely interesting to tell me?
Caught my first tube this morning, sir.
Yeah. At the party, Johnny meets the others in Bodhi's group, and one of whom, I believe he's Jimmy Carter, is John Philbin, and he's an actual surfer. You probably also might recognize him from Tombstone.
I did recognize him from Tombstone. Can you see me walking into that party? Like,
Oh, there's fire.
Oh, you all are great dancers and very flexible. Anna.
There's a lot going on at this house party. I have been doing house parties wrong.
Get the fuck. We're getting the fuck out of here. Get in the fucking cloud car. We're getting to the kingdom of caring right now.
You wouldn't like this house party?
No. No.
It looked like so much fun.
People are bending all over the place.
Yay.
No. No.
Yay.
Absolutely not.
I say yay.
No.
You say uh-oh. I say uh-huh.
For then until tomorrow. No, I'm not teasing you. I heard you groan when you got up on that chair.
You bitch. You bitch. I've done a lot of strenuous work lately.
You would not want to go to this party.
I most definitely would, because I have FOMO a lot. Anyway, can I tell you something that just, because it went fresh in my brain. Can I tell you a story that has nothing to do with this movie?
Sure.
Okay. Do you know who Brian Eno is? He's like, he's a music guy. He's a producer, musician. He once told a story about David Byrne.
Oh.
From the Talking Heads.
Same as it ever was.
Right. Same as it ever was. He was talking about how eccentric David Byrne was. He's like, David Byrne has always been that. Always. He said, he remembered one time when they were very young. And again, David Byrne is like tall. Like he's a tall guy, tall skin. Right. So when they were younger, in their 20s or whatever, they got mugged outside someplace. And he goes, it was like 14 people. It was like a ton of guys or whatever that mugged them. And at one point he looked over and David Byrne was being dragged away by several of the muggers into like a bush or something. And he just hears David Byrne going, uh-oh. He goes, swear to God. It was like a cartoon scene. It's just the visual of David Byrne, like in a mugging, that's his first go-to is, uh-oh.
You have to yell fire.
No, uh-oh. Anyway, that's what it reminded me of. Okay.
Oh,
so,
speaking of fire, that room that Johnny and Gina Davis' sister go in is incredibly unsafe. There are candles everywhere, exposed wood.
there is somebody that swallows fire in that, yeah.
No, the room that, like, when Johnny and
Yep.
they're going to go and make out in,
Mm-hmm.
candles everywhere.
Yep.
Exposed wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's unsafe.
Where are they? Where is that house located? Right near the beach?
On the sand. Not on the beach, though. Not on the water.
What are the chances that the wood of that house has a pretty good resistance to fire because it has a lot of humidity? Okay, so I said that Patrick Swayze said he related most to his Bodhi character, and it really, really seems correct. And he seems very settled in this character, and he's completely natural, and his chemistry with Keanu is undeniable. And this is actually the second movie that they were in together.
Was he in Outsiders?
No. The other was Keanu's very first movie, Youngblood.
Oh, Youngblood. Oh.
Where they were
okay.
both hockey players.
Yes.
Which is funny because in this, Johnny Utah was a former football player.
Uh-huh.
In real life, Keanu was a former hockey player.
He looks like an athlete.
In this?
In real life.
Yeah, well, he was. Tyler, that's Lori Petty's character, at Bodhi's house party, tells Johnny that Bodhi believes he was destined to ride a 50-foot wave in Australia during a storm of the century. And then this group surfs in the middle of the night. And I am totally fine with that.
Really?
Yep.
You are totally fine with them surfing in the middle of the night in the dark where they can't see if there's sharks anywhere. They can't see if they're going to drown. They can't see about the waves. You're totally fine with that. I think I even saw lightning.
How dare you? Why would you do that?
Chaos.
You are a chaos monkey.
Chaos monkey, chaos monkey.
Well, after they finish surfing, Tyler, that's Lori Petty, and Johnny, of course, Keanu, end up having sex on the beach, and also I'm totally fine with that too.
No, you're not. That's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
It's romantic.
Who wants to do that? There's sand everywhere. Sand gets everywhere. Sand is still there.
People love having sex on the beach.
There's
There's drinks made after
I
it.
don't understand it. I think in movies when they have morning scenes, when couples wake up and they want to get frisky, they should be like, hey, baby.
Yeah.
You look so beautiful. And I'm really into you. Let's go brush his teeth and make this happen.
Brush your teeth first.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God. You know what you remind me of? Is in Christmas Vacation With Julie Louis-Dreyfus and her partner, they're like about to make out. And it's like,
I want to take off his clothes, sit in the dark with a glass of wine, and kiss every square inch of your body.
After you shower, of course.
Of course.
They just, okay, a couple things.
mm-hmm.
They went swimming in the ocean at nighttime
Mm-hmm.
where they had been drinking.
What? Who showed them drinking?
Oh, we
didn't see
all
them
did.
drinking.
They probably fell in the ocean a million times, so they drank.
I didn't see them drinking.
They drank ocean water. They didn't brush their teeth that night. They certainly didn't brush their teeth that morning, and then they sucked face. Ugh.
You know, they're
Barf.
surfers. That's kind of their thing.
Ew.
Isn't salt like you can use that as a antiseptic?
No.
I think so, right?
No.
You can use salt to clean a wound, right?
No. And how is this movie going to do Anthony Kiedis dirty like this? Make him such a bad guy?
It was his choice.
Really?
They said we're casting for surf Nazis, and they already casted them surf Nazis in Lost Boys. So here's your chance.
Listen,
You might not get another.
I know you're not in the biz.
Which biz?
The biz.
The which biz are we talking about?
The crime biz.
Oh, the crime?
Yeah.
Oh, the crime biz.
Yeah. These fucking idiots would not go to a op like this without bulletproof vests on.
What do you mean? Wait, we're still having sex on the beach at this point.
Who? No, we're not. It's disgusting. No.
Well, okay, so I bet you're talking about it's time to bust the surf Nazis.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go as smoothly as it probably could.
And also, they're not wearing bulletproof vests, which anybody would do if they were going to an op like this. They would have them in the trunk of their car, and they would wear them because you know there would be the potential for a shootout. This is the dumbest part of this movie.
You look so smug right now. Like, I know this. This is why you have this, is because this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does anybody get shot?
I bet you're the one that set the curve during tests.
Thank you. This is fucking ridiculous. They're going to go bust these surfers that have allegedly gotten away with 58,000 bank robberies, and they're not going to go in there with any body armor on.
Have they shot anybody in those?
They've had guns. They've had guns at every single bank robbery.
Didn't they specifically say they've never shot anybody? Interesting. They don't go with the vault. They just go after the drawers, and they also have not shot a single person in all these robberies.
Shit goes bad all the time.
Don't I know it?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Like my point.
So, hey, how many times have you made cinnamon rolls? Has there ever been a time that they don't rise?
How dare you?
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. No, it's the yeast.
I know it's not your fault, but that's my point. Sometimes things are just completely out of your control and things go left.
You know what is in my control?
What?
Those pecan rolls I made yesterday.
Dude,
those I had a bite of one before I left. Those were so good.
I visited at work yesterday, and I was like a fucking truffle hound. I think I was like 30 feet away from her kitchen, and I was like, I know I smell butter, and and I'm pretty sure your girl can smell nuts from a mile away of any kind. Hey-o. And I was like, I walked in her kitchen, and I'm like, I know I'm here to give you comfort, but what the fuck is that smell?
Pecan sticky buns.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you right now, that's one of the best things I make.
God
I
damn.
got that recipe on fucking lockdown.
They smelled, it was like melted butter, and I
make my own caramel.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. No, they're really, really, really good. So anyway, yeah.
Gary Busey would be the most insufferable person as a partner, even though he laughs at Calvin and Hobbes.
Really? I think he would be a delight.
I think he'd be obnoxious. He's like, go get me a meatball sub or whatever. He's like,
but the Calvin and Hobbes things, I'm with him. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that because it definitely evens things out for me. Calvin Hobbes is a superior comic.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to believe that they drove to this bank to stake out the bank robbers, and he goes to get a meatball sandwich at 10 a.m.
Can I tell you that one of my coworkers literally today made carne asada tacos for us at just shy of 10 a.m.?
Was he also staking out a bank robbery?
I'm not at liberty to say at the moment because it's confidential.
You terrify me. But also, I'm going to say the answer is no. This is they figure out that they're probably at this bank, and he's like, "Why don't you go run and get me a Sammy?"
What do police, do FBI agents and police officers follow normal business hours a lot? Or do they often work overnights?
They would probably follow bank hours since they're wanting to catch a bank robber in action.
First of all, I don't appreciate you taking my point away so easily. Secondly, speaking of not going smoothly.
And also, fuck off.
The FBI stake out a bank the ex-presidents hit up. They get a bit of a car chase with them, and it's here that Johnny figures out that Bodie and his gang are the ex-presidents, and Bodie finds out that Johnny is a cop, and it's devastating because they've become such good friends, beyond friends, better than friends. They're brothers. They probably would get tattoos together, I imagine. And Johnny has a shot on Bodie, but does he take it? No. What he does instead, he can't. So he just, fires his gun in the air and goes, ah. Oh, my God. How difficult. I hope I'm never in that position.
Anna?
Mm-hmm.
This is the part in the movie
Yeah.
that made me so angry. There's a part when Johnny Utah, which is a really stupid name, is chasing Bodie, a.k.a. Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how does Bodie escape Johnny Utah?
He climbs a fence.
He throws a dog at Johnny Utah.
Yes.
And then Johnny Utah kicks the dog out of the way.
Yeah.
So Johnny Utah, a.k.a. Keanu-member. What is it?
Keanu-tober.
Okay, says you. He's a litterer. He's a douchebag. He's a dog kicker. I rest my case.
Okay.
This movie's the worst.
Didn't actually litter.
He did. He threw his gum wrapper on the floor.
Definitely not a douchebag.
Totally the parents thing.
And let me tell you
He kicked
about that dog scene because I have notes on it.
Yeah.
And that was a real dog.
Uh-huh.
At first. Like
until he kicked it and then it was a dead dog.
Well, it was not a dead dog. It was a fake dog. What they did was because, there's regulations, and obviously this is a whole movie about people that are like anti-violence and like that is a big deal. So they had honest engine. I swear to God, I will show you my notes. What they did was they had it padded or whatever. So they said in the notes, a trainer lightly tossed. He said the dog already knew what was coming. That's what it said. The dog. They already conferenced. With said dog.
He had it coming.
And made sure that he was comfortable with this dog as a professional. And he's like, I can handle it.
Listen, Ralphie.
Look, there's not a whole lot of jobs out there for dogs in 1991. And so this trainer lightly tossed this dog onto a whole bunch of padding that they said would be impossible to harm the dog. And then it cut to him kicking a fake dog.
Did this movie make Keanu-member
Keanu-tober?
Looked like a douchebag. A dog-kicking douchebag.
Seems like somebody that was really just wanted to get his man.
I rest my case. Thank you. Thank you, members of the jury.
You know, Bodhi's gang,
Uh-huh.
they're not happy.
Things
are not going as swimmingly.
Uh-huh.
Because they're surfers.
Yeah.
As they'd like. But luckily, Bodhi is really good at speeches. And he pulls a, yo, this was never about the money. It was about sticking it to the man.
Uh-huh.
And you know, sticking it to the man speeches will always land. I know. I've been to a lot of liberal bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And so have you.
Johnny, this conversation that Johnny has with Tyler's answering machine is really something else.
What do you mean?
It's fucking crazy.
What do you mean?
This bitch is been hooked up with a bank robber, and I somehow feel safer with her in that relationship than with Johnny Utah, because he seems like a lunatic. And Johnny is an FBI agent who just had a shootout with people who have robbed 58,000 banks.
Yes.
And they know who he is.
Yes.
And he goes to the door and opens it up, doesn't check to see who it is, and just lets them in.
This when Tyler comes shooting?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, his cover, Johnny's cover is blown, and Tyler's real sore about it. She's like, are your parents even dead? Because if you don't have dead parents, like she's really, really not happy about it. And he's like, well, technically they're not dead, but they live in Ohio.
So they kind of want to be.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing, right? I mean,
We had Johnny Football for our quarterback for a while.
there's only so much that's in Ohio.
There's only so much we can take.
Says the people who live in fucking Kansas.
Right. Yeah, because shit goes rogue. Shit's going great here.
Oh, it's going great.
Yeah.
It's going great. Still don't have liquor in our stores yet.
Right.
We'll get there.
Well, I would like to say I was wrong.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Okay. He's
About what? Because I've got a list. Hold on, I've got the list somewhere.
okay. He's one step up from a moron.
A Mormon?
Moron.
Iron?
Earlier, I said he was 2 steps up from a moron. He's 1 step up from a moron. He opened his fucking door to the bank robbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an idiot.
It was the 90s. You could do that then. We didn't even lock our doors when we lived in Alabama.
Yeah. Our life is what you should really base your...
You're like, no, yeah, idiot. We didn't have neighbors for like 1,000 miles. Who are we afraid of?
Or, anyway.
The locusts? Bodhi pretends not to know that Johnny is a cop, and he gets him in an airplane to skydive. It's such a good scene. Oh, it's such a good scene.
Okay, you said I could talk about Patrick Swayze.
Yes, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Patrick Swayze, too, as soon as I can enhance my notes.
Of course, the actor, Patrick Swayze, not the character, looks like he is at a ballet when he is skydiving.
That is hilarious that you said that.
Because you could not convince me that Patrick Swayze didn't do that shit himself. He's like, I will skydive, but I'm going to dance while I do it, motherfuckers.
Funny you should say that, because when he first got into like skydiving,
He's like, this is a dance?
they were like, it's basically ballet in the sky.
Oh.
And he's like, well, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. So once he got that, he was hooked. And when I say he was hooked, I mean he was hooked. And it was a problem. Let me tell you, it was a problem because he wouldn't stop fucking jumping out of that goddamn plane. And eventually insurance companies were like, look.
I thought you said it was going to give. I thought you were going to say it gave him cancer.
No, probably not. I don't know. I don't know how cancer works. That's science. He jumped a bunch, and the insurance
Then I
company's
thought
like,
you were going to say he was a problem like he jacked off all the time when he was jumping.
possibly. I don't know. I mean, oh God, that's a whole different type of science. Anyway.
And also personal. It's his business.
So he really, really liked skydiving quite a lot. Because, like I said, Patrick Swayze really identified with this character because he was very meditative. He's very anti-violence. This made sense to him, especially like the adrenaline junkie stuff. So he said that he really liked skydiving a lot, but eventually the insurance company's like, look, can you please stop doing that? Because we have to get through this movie without, with our hair. And he's like, okay. And then eventually when they went to go film in, I think, Hawaii, he was like, maybe just one or two. And so he kept on skydiving because he really, really loved it. However, he said that he kind of learned how to surf during this because he hadn't done that before. He's like, I almost died 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times doing that. They didn't give a shit about that. They weren't concerned about about surfing, which was way more dangerous than the skydiving stuff. It was this. So he loved skydiving. He kept trying to get Gary Busey to go skydiving. He loved it. Everything you see with them skydiving is 100% them skydiving, obviously. All of the things you see with them talking, that's impossible.
Right.
You can't hear shit.
Right.
So, I mean, but it's a movie.
Who's the idiot with the flippers on?
With the flippers? I don't know which one it is. But, I mean, it's a movie.
So Bodhi is a fucking idiot as well because he just said that Johnny is sharp as a razor.
What do you mean?
He said that Johnny is sharp as a razor.
Well, he is.
Anna, if I said with all seriousness, with all sincerity, if I looked at my little dog, Leia,
yes,
and I said with sincerity,
so pretty.
You are so smart.
Why would you say that?
Would you think, oh, Katrina's finally lost it?
No, I think that Leia's about to die or something, and you're giving her some.
You
peace
would
at
think
the final
something's
moment.
wrong, though.
Yeah.
Or that I was a fucking idiot. Or, I'd hit my head, or you wouldn't think things were right. This is this scene. Bodhi's not right. Because he's looking.
He loves him. He's his bro, man.
I love Leia. I love her.
You're not her bro.
I'm her mom.
It's different. It's different.
Her.
Men are dumb.
That's fair.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's fair.
You really think that Johnny is fucked in the sky? Like, not fucked in like a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I can't imagine that would be pleasant.
I know.
It would be so fast.
I was so bad in speed. I said so many inappropriate things, but I really have to be careful in this episode.
Fair enough. But I don't think that would be pleasant. But what I'm saying is, you really do think that Johnny is not gonna, that he's in trouble, that they give him a bad parachute or something. Mm-hmm. But they don't. What they do is, Bodhi has other plans. They kidnap Tyler. And even Bodhi says in this, he's like, I hate violence. I would not be the one to be able to kidnap her because I couldn't hold a knife to her throat. I'm not that guy, man. I'm your bro, man. Remember, we were going to get those tattoos together, like Salt Life Forever or whatever.
But it is all about the money after all, also.
No, he just wants to be able to ride that final wave. Mm-hmm. So they kidnap Tyler and they use that to force Johnny to participate in one of their bank robberies. Mm-hmm. And for the first time, they're going for the vault, and that's probably a bad idea.
Because they're greedy bastards.
No, they're not greedy. Everything got kind of wonkadoodle. Sometimes whenever plans go awry, you make really bad decisions to kind of compensate. We've all been there. We all do things we regret because we're rash and trying to kind of fix things at the last minute.
I don't make rash decisions.
What?
I don't.
Really?
I don't make rash decisions.
Really?
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
You sure about that, Clark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure about that too. You really don't. We skydive as a getaway, but most of the crew is dead.
Oh, well, Johnny, of course, puts the Pikachu on a pedestal, and Buddy Holly got.
Is he dead?
Well, I think so.
I don't think he's dead.
Is he?
I don't think so.
Am I to understand he just jumps out of the fucking plane with no chute?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And
These guys are it. She said earlier, he's going to push you to the edge, and I have a feeling that she calls him a kamikaze earlier. She nails him from the start.
And I got shit for that bus making that jump in speed.
Yeah, you did. It was ridiculous.
Like, this makes more sense than that?
Definitely makes more sense.
Well, I have never wanted to be a parachute more in my life.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
That's not a pro.
Yes, it is.
Oh, this is sexual innuendo about Keanu and whatever rolling around in the thing. Right?
All right. Well, I'm saying that.
Wait, that's a con.
You know, the problem is that you're trying to make sense out of all these decisions. That these are a bunch of guys, young guys. These are guys in like their 20s making adrenaline junkie guys making decisions, and we're trying to make sense of it. That's why this doesn't make sense.
Wait, the thing about Bodhi and Keanu, rolling around in the parachute and me being like, oh, now I want to be a parachute.
Me too.
That's a con, because I don't know if this movie's good for my marriage or if it's bad for my marriage. It's all confusing. It's a con.
That you want to be a parachute?
That one.
I'm really trying hard not to push a button on you. Push a button on you. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. Oh, I gotta work so early.
Was she really getting ready to tell him that she loves him?
Say it again, what?
Was Tyler really getting ready to tell him that she loves him?
Aw.
He has some fucking explaining to do.
Yeah. Aw.
Bodhi got a haircut.
Romantic explaining.
That's a con.
You know, it's funny because they had gone off to do other movies. This was a reshoot. So they had gone, but they're like, and I agree with them because I would have said the same thing. They're like, well, this is a bit in the future. So, wait, hold on. Before I get to that. Okay. So they skydive and it's a getaway and most crew's dead, but Johnny's able to save Tyler. Yay. But that means Bodhi gets away. Oh no. But sometime later, Johnny finds Bodhi trying to surf that crazy ass 50-foot wave like he knew there was going to be in Australia. And that's when Bodhi delivers his last final plea to Johnny.
Just let me go out there. Let me get one wave before you take me. One wave. I mean, where am I gonna go, man? Cliffs on both sides. I'm not gonna paddle in New Zealand. My whole life has been about this moment, Johnny. Come on, compadre.
And Johnny realizes that it doesn't matter. He can have this. It's not gonna matter. He's not gonna be able to survive it.
If Johnny unlocks those cuffs and lets Bodhi surf that wave, oh fuck, there he goes.
Of course he does.
So he terrorized a bunch of people and got people killed and got a bunch of people killed, but he got to die as he pleased. Cool. Hang 10.
Yeah.
That's like, he got a bunch of people killed, he terrorized a bunch of people, but he got to go die as he wanted to.
Can I tell you a little bit about that?
What?
About that surf?
What?
Okay. Well, there was no CGI involved with this, of course, because this was 1991. Not the water, not the rain, nothing. They got this professional surfer named Laird Hamilton, who he was a big surfer.
Yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love sports. I watch all sports.
Oh my God, what a fucking nerd.
I know.
I've never thought you were a nerd about sports until this moment.
Sorry. I know a lot about sports.
Well, it's not in my notes, but I know Patrick Swayze had contacted him, and he's like, "How would you like to die for me?" In the movie, like basically, like be me to die in a movie, and he's like, no," and he's like, "No. I mean, metaphorically, but like on film." So he had gone out there, and he said he paddled into the wave, got to his feet, and then he's just jump on out. He skipped and bounced pretty hard. And then he just went flying, and he just started trying to like body surf down. And he felt like it was a really, really amazing experience because he surfed this massive wave. Like I said, like it really was gigantic. It wasn't like what they had said, like this 50-foot wave or whatever,
Right.
but it was huge. And he also had to fake falling because it's, Bodhi had to die at the end of this. So good for him for Jesus Christ. I can't imagine having I'm not an adrenaline junkie. So there's a whole lot of this that I would be so uncomfortable with, but this would be one.
Yeah.
For sure. So Bodhi, goes out and he surfs his final wave. Johnny's like, well, that's just him. He's not coming back from it. And Johnny chucks his FBI badge into the ocean. And that's the end of the movie.
Aw.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, how wonderful.
This movie's so good.
Oh, Point Break is so much fun.
It is.
We talked about the, shooting your gun in the air and going, because it's in Hot Fuzz.
Right.
And there's a reason why they watched this one together as like bros. It's because it's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's so good.
This is a love story. It's just not a love story between a man and a woman.
Right.
Even though there is a love story between a man and a woman.
Right.
This is a love story between two friends.
I didn't say it in the episode because I didn't want to make like too many good points.
No button push though.
I know. I didn't want to make like too many valid cons.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be into him. Like, Tyler wouldn't be into the Johnny Utah character, I don't think. Like,
I don't know. Like going after the parents, that was pretty clever. Having, both of your parents die in like an auto accident.
no, like,
that probably would snag people.
no, like the real him.
Oh, the real him?
Yeah, like as a couple,
know.
like, I don't think she'd be into him.
Lori Petty said that as far as working with Keanu is concerned, she's like, he was a very good kisser.
No.
So I'm just saying, maybe.
Not Keanu, but like the
I know,
character.
But what I'm saying is, maybe Johnny Utah was just like,
yeah, but that can only take you so far.
maybe he was really good at the swirl.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe he
He seemed like a damn idiot.
it sounded like he was good at waves. He was good on the waves. Maybe he was good in the waves.
I don't know, dude.
Who knows? I do find it fascinating that they chose somebody for this character that has super dark hair,
Yeah.
for one,
Yeah.
that borderline looks like him in that respect.
Uh-huh.
But she's not stereotypical. She's definitely not a damsel in distress.
She's beautiful though.
Oh, I love
But
her.
not like she's not like a blonde beach. She's not like a Barbie doll.
She's not a pushover
Yeah.
by any means.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say like my favorite line is where she's like, "Who cares?
Right. Yeah, she's
I'm
great.
Johnny Utah. Who cares?"
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, she's really good.
God damn this movie. Okay, so that's my only Keanu movie.
You want to hear about my happy ending?
Oh, I definitely do.
Okay, this is bonkers. This is cuckoo bananas.
Okay.
So I pick everyone. We talked about it. Our studio used to be in my library. I love books. I'm a big reader. I love mysteries. I think I'm going to solve every crime. And because there's a new Inspector Poirot movie coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I picked Agatha Christie as my happy ending. This is nuts.
I love Agatha Christie.
Okay, well, get ready to have your mind blown out your asshole.
Oh, I'd rather not, but it's worth it.
What's happening? Okay, so she wrote her first book in 1916. She created two of the most fascinating literary characters in Inspector Poirot and Miss Marple. Mm-hmm. Her pseudonym was Mary Westcott or something like that.
Westcott, yeah.
Okay, and she did that person so she could write some romance novels, which I love. She was a part-time archaeologist.
I love that she felt like she had to separate herself.
I know. Well, her fucking editor, who was probably a stick-up-his-ass man, was like, no romance novels.
Yeah.
She was an expert on poisons. She wrote what is still the longest-running play, which is Mousetrap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's still running in London. And Phantom of the Opera, that was like started in the 50s, and Phantom of the Opera started in the 80s. So, but I chose her for my happy ending because, I was like, oh, there's a movie coming out. Like, I wonder if she's a cool person. So I started reading about her. Guess what?
Huh.
You ready?
Yes.
Agatha Christie is the first British woman, this is, I swear to God,
Okay.
documented to have stood up while riding a surfboard.
No.
According to Pete Robinson, founder of the Museum of British Surfing. They have fucking museums for everything in England.
Thank God.
They took up surfing, her and her husband took up surfing in the early 20s. They later traveled all over, and she wrote about the experience in her biography. She said, I learned to become an expert, or at least an expert from the European point. The moment of complete triumph on the day that I kept my balance and came right into shore, standing upright on my board. So that's my happy ending. Can you... I am
gobsmacked.
This was a complete coincidence. I was excited that the movie's coming out, so I was like, well, I'm going to read about Agatha Christie. And then I saw this about her for Point Break.
How amazingly serendipitous.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. This might be my favorite of the happy endings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's
anyway.
really good.
Yeah.
Katrina, that was really good.
Thank you. I knew you'd like it. So next we're doing...
Oh, to finish out.
Yeah, to finish Keanu member.
Keanu-tober.
Okay. So you, John Wick.
I have not done my notes for this yet.
I haven't either.
And I have no clue how I'm going to attack it. I mean, I have one clue, but other than that, oh, God.
I can tell you, I haven't done my notes, but I have researched trivia. There's some good trivia.
Oh, no.
No, it won't get you.
I'm making a prediction right now.
What?
I think I'm getting a button push.
Yeah.
I do. I really, really do.
I mean...
I knew you weren't going to get one for this because I thought you'd be on your game. Even with the tequila.
Yeah.
Which got me real good. I have to work tomorrow so early, too.
I know, it's going to be bad. That's okay. You know what? We're doing good.
Oh, this was so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I can't wait for John Wick.
I know. I'm stoked. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one.
Well,
hey, when we record John Wick, we're doing a sleepover.
Oh, we are?
We're going to get real
that's
sloppy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, just because we've shifted around some of our dates of, release, please, everybody, don't worry. We're not going anywhere.
No.
We're not going anywhere.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Well, until next time, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's John Wick it up.
Yeah, damn Skippy.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Honestly.
Goodbye, Katrina Porter.
Bye.